jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Bomb Squad! Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know the first in the building. Big blunts and boxing is on deck. Salute to you, man. I see you. What's good? Appreciate everyone who's pulling up. Another Hot Grease Chronicles EP 369, year 2024. We have to talk about what could have been, because I got to continue to remind them that Crawford is doing things that no other fighters are thinking about doing right now, especially the one and only Saul Cinnamon Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to basically get it popping. Sticking boys, fishing and sports. Salute WCS. Salute chat fam. Happy Sunday. No doubt, man. Appreciate you pulling up in the building, man. I see you on deck. Nate the Great is on deck. What it do, man? Salute to WCS in the chat. Salute to you, man. I wonder, is this the other Nate the Great? I'm not sure, but salute to you, man. What's good? Getting a little bit of time for everybody to pull up. Shout out to the head Empress is in the building. The queen on deck. Hey, WCS in the chat. What we doing? We're about to talk about the obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to talk about history, which all of us have a chance to witness. Seriously, all of us have a chance to witness this. You know what I'm saying? While we still young enough to understand how important it is to the sport of boxing. You know, I'm going to talk about something that was actually going on behind the scenes. You know, because we have fights that's coming up. We just seen Virgil Ortiz go in there and beat Thomas Delorme with a 2 coughs and a sneeze, and he's up out of there, ready for Tim Tszyu. I don't know if it's going to benefit him to have 2 short fights without putting in rounds, but Virgil looks strong, and it's going to be a heck of a fight. Potential fight of the year between Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. I'm talking about styles. Styles make fights, man. Styles make fights. Shout out to MD Mills in the building. What's good with it, brother? I see you on deck. Salute. Appreciate you pulling up as always, man. So we're gonna basically touch on the reality of boxing, because we always reminded taking place. Certain fights we will want to take place, right? Benavidez reveals offer, rejects weight drop. Okay. David Benavidez reveals Crawford fight offer, rejects weight drop. And those of you that's in the building, let me drop this thumbnail down from you and get your set, all nice and cozy. And we're going to talk about how fighters are making moves behind the scenes because people's up here continue to act like they still got some criticism of the Omaha Monster. Turk Al-Sheikh was attempting to make a fight behind the scenes between David Benavidez, who couldn't get the fight with Canelo Alvarez, the fight he wanted. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to fight for the undisputed titles. A former two-time champion at 168, who's now moved up to fight, Vostik, whose only loss was against Artur Beterbiev. So he reveals that Turk Al-Sheikh offered him a Terrence Crawford fight for August. Instead of Terrence potentially going in there and fighting Marjamov, he would have been fighting David Benavidez. This is incredible news because David Benavidez, right? He is a big boy. Benavidez was a fat kid who lost weight, had to, lock himself in and focus on the priorities in boxing, to get down to that weight and become a star in the sport. David Benavidez is the younger brother of Jose Benavidez. That's what a lot of people don't believe. They just think because of size, he's the older brother, but he's the younger brother. Let's read this. David Benavidez say His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh wanted him to fight on the August 3rd card in Los Angeles now and to go down to 160 to face Terrence Crawford. Let's clap it up once again for the Turk. Big Turk. Big Turk. Let's give a big shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford. Omaha Monster. You mean to tell me that y'all was trying to lay some shock and awe to the boxing community? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You was trying to lay down something like this? That Crawford will be facing David Benavidez at 160 if he can make the weight? This is unbelievable. They was up here talking about Crawford need to make sure he tread lightly with going up to 168. It's weight classes for a reason. Even him himself said it. But then to face a behemoth like David Benavidez at 160, this is crazy. This is insane. It goes on to say weight limit and PBC contract proved a roadblock. Okay? The former two-time super middleweight champion Benavidez told Al-Sheikh that he couldn't get down to 160 for the Crawford fight. He's with PBC and plans to fight for the WBC interim light heavyweight title against Alexander Vostik on June 15th. Benavidez is cruiserweight size, and it's going to be hard for him to get down to 175 for his fight with Vostik. I disagree. He's going up in weight, and he should be able to make 175. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But let's get down to the PBC plans. As you all seen, Turk Al-Sheikh has PBC fighters on their roster. You know what I'm saying? So, at that time, probably, certain fighters that couldn't get that nod. Benavidez was one of them. He mentioned that before, that they was trying to, give him the fight over there. And the guy they call Al didn't want, or in the contract, he couldn't fight over there or whatever. But there are certain fighters that's with the PBC that's on that August 3rd card. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to say if Benavidez win that fight, he could possibly get the winner of June 1st match between Beterbiev and Bivol. We know that. Let's look at this right here, though. Crawford's quest for Canelo. Crawford wants to fight for the undisputed super middleweight championship against Canelo Alvarez, and he needs a win over one of the top fighters at 168 to legitimize him as a valid option. Okay? That's what the author said. That's not what nobody else, because there's no boxing Bible. There's no list of people that's supposed to have the scriptures to boxing. Now, if by chance Crawford would have fought David Benavidez, y'all, this would have kind of eliminated the process of elimination, shorten the list a little bit. You know, he would have fought David Benavidez 160. Then they would have said, okay, Benavidez, even though he had to come down in weight, you know, he fought Crawford. Crawford won that fight. Then it will push for an even bigger fight for Canelo Alvarez because David Benavidez was definitely trying to make that fight with Canelo. Crawford was trying to make that fight with Canelo. But guess what? They ended up with a Charlo. Not big Charlo, little Charlo. And we all seen that little Charlo, he knows how to run well with that baton, round for round. Shout out to ASICS Footwear. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Because all I seen is the soles of his feet running around the ring, trying to get away from that Mexican superstar. It goes on to say Crawford will fight for the WBA 154 pounds on August 3rd, and he plans to become undisputed in that weight class. If Crawford moves up to 168, if he accomplishes goals at 154, that will open the door for a possible fight against Benavidez if he wants to prove himself as being worthy of a title shot against Canelo. Benavidez will be coming down from 175 if that fight happens. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Benavidez ain't trying to make 168 anytime soon. Now, for Crawford can definitely make 54, 60, 68 because he's climbing the ladder. You know what I'm saying? He's climbing the ladder. So it would be much easier for him. Now, we all know Crawford has a manifesto. On that manifesto is to unify the 154-pound division. And like a lot of people are talking about, once they see this happens in real time, then I think their energy, I think their temperament, I think their language would change a little bit with him fighting Canelo. But I'm gonna be honest, I think Canelo is not trying to take any more hard fights. I think Canelo is at a point where, you know, jumping into the ring at 15 as a professional, he has a lot of miles on him. Them knees are where they at. You know what I'm saying? It's his knees is you can't take them knees up to Jiffy Lube and tell them, hey, I need a little ligament oil change. Put some liquid in there because you know my knees are popping and squeaking. You know what I'm saying? My knees are popping and squeaking. So if Crawford can do this in 3 fights, when we're talking about being on the clock, 3 fights will be great for the calendar because we're talking about 25. If he can fight, you know, Marjamal, victory, then at the end of the year, if he gets Fundora without Fundora coming off the WBO belt. Now, it seems to me that Turk Al-Sheikh believes that he can make the December fight card to Sebastian Fundora. Of course, the money's going to have to be right. And when it comes to Big Turk, that man has the liquid funds to make you say the fight is done. No disputing. You know what I'm saying? No disputing, no debating. It's that money I'm coming to take. I think Sebastian Fundora would say, yes, see, Big Turk. See, senor. I'm taking the fight. So if Crawford can, you know, August 3rd, then end of the year, and possibly fight for the IBF at the top of 2025, his last fight with all that money the Turk can provide, his last fight potentially can be with Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? But that's so far up the road, but yet so short. You know, because August gonna be here before you know it. That's gonna be a huge fight. You know, royalty. It's gonna be the first time I think that a boxing match has been fought at BMO Stadium. I think that's the first time it's been fought over there, and that card is gonna be a big deal. You have some big names, big names on there. It goes on to say Benavidez on the offer in Crawford. I had to talk to Turkey. They had wanted me to fight in August. I told them I'm with PBC. See, he got to put that in there. I'm with PBC because see, David Benavidez don't have the green. He don't have the permission slip or the green card yet. The goddamn cross that border. You know what I'm saying? He don't have it. We got this big card June 15th. So I think that was just a conversation of opening the doors, and this might be a reality that we could make this happen. We never got to that point, said Benavidez, when asked who the opponent his excellency had in mind for him to fight on August 3rd card. He did mention to me one fighter. He wanted me to go down to 160 and fight Crawford. I said, bro, I can't do that. He said, bro, I can't do that, the Big Turk. You know what I'm saying? He said, bro, the Big Turk. If I was able to make 160, that would be amazing, but I can't. I don't remember the last time I weighed 160. I would love to share the ring with him, but not at 160, said Benavidez about Crawford. So, of course, a lot of people that are very critical of Crawford, they're going to say, why don't you fight him at 168 if you want to prove yourself and all that? Well, to be honest with you, Turk Al-Sheikh, he's on a roll right now with consistency. He's making some really big fights, y'all. He's making some really big fights. And I think any big fight that when it comes to Crawford, especially Crawford going out here, continue to produce. He's continuing to produce results, right? There's a big move for him at 154. Once he becomes champion at 54, man, his name is only going to, levitate that much higher. So therefore, they really going to start talking, hey, Canelo, hey, listen. Crawford becomes 3-time undisputed. People going to be calling for this fight, man. And, it's not going to be if Crawford can move up to 168, he's too small and all that. No, people are going to be like, hey, who's the greatest of this era, you or Crawford? And they're going to want to see that fight. Period. They're going to want to see that fight. Crawford to be contending for his 5th divisional championship, facing Canelo. And we talking about one of the biggest name of this era in Canelo Alvarez. So, of course, he goes up here and be the first male fighter to become 3 times undisputed. He absolutely places himself in a whole nother class. You know what I'm saying? He go from great to greater. You know what I'm saying? And then people start talking about some type of GOAT label. Get to this chat right quick. Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. PBC is weak. The guy called Al is selling off his stock. All these internet boxing weirdos can't hide no more. I see you in the building on deck, man. They cannot hide anymore. It's not like they was hiding before. You know what I'm saying? They was out here scurrying the freaking sidewalks and streets, the side streets and alleys. You know what I'm saying? They was squeaking. You can hear them. You know what I'm saying? We saw them. Arnold Brown on deck. And shout out to Team Tucker official on deck. Arnold Brown on deck. Salute to you. I see you. Turk has been Crawford plug from the jump. Remember, he had the $50 million for Spence Crawford fight, right? But Al didn't want to do business. Look at him now, though. Yeah, for sure. Drop those gems. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to criticize Crawford for attempting to bring on the hedge fund guys. They was criticizing, talking about who was the guys. He didn't mention the guys, but he was really trying to do some business behind the scene. Not only that, he was continuing to stomp out the freaking doubt that people had for him, when he was making this Spence fight. He was trying to not only get him a nice payday, but get Spence a nice payday too. Which in the interim, in the aftermath, they both got paid pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So much to the fact that one half of those who fought July 29th is being taken to court, because he owes some money. But that's not Crawford's fault. I love it. I love the fact that they are mute on this particular situation. But keeping it on Crawford, Crawford was out here in the conversation of Turk Al-Sheikh with a potential fight with David Benavidez, which would have been epic. We're talking about the big, tall, fast hands. And then you're talking about Crawford, the masterful technician, break fighters down is bigger than him, show that he's stronger than he looked. Oh man, that fight would have been epic, bro. That would have been epic. Seriously. Two undefeated fighters. Crawford climbing the ladder up to 160. But we all know David Benavidez is a big fighter. So we're not going to put too much mustard and wasabi on that. We know he's a big fighter. We can't call him a duck. He didn't duck. He's just too big of a fighter, man. So that's why he's settling in at 175 to go fight that, that former WBC champion. Conquest 2 is in the building. What's good with it? There's no hope for all these wacko fans against Bud. That's pretty much what you can call them. You know what I'm saying? Asylum members. You know what I'm saying? Padded room platinum memberships. I'm looking at this, right? The good part is that this doesn't seem like Turk Al-Sheikh is going to be letting up anytime soon, y'all. That's the good part about it. Because for so long as boxing fans, we up here hearing the same thing. Oh, man, I wish I can get this fight, but where's the money? So-and-so supposed to rate. I mean, boxing at this point is everywhere. Like, this has become a freaking, almost like a preschool. I don't even know what, a preschool orientation all over again. And what I mean by that, it's like you expect after seeing years and years, you know what to expect in elementary. Those of you that went to that. Middle school now. And then high school, you expect, the level of curriculum that you're going to get, right? But now boxing, you're getting YouTube, Vine creators that's taking fights, no drug testing, that's being able to fight legends. We have fights that we want to see, but it's always like, well, there's no money in the budget. That fight can't happen. Who's going to pay for it? What network is going to be on? It's just always the same freaking, let's talk about the fight and the fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's not going to happen because who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for it? So-and-so is not a seller. Well, we found out that you don't need belts to make millions. We found that out with Tank. Tank never wanted the WBA Super. Tank was making money with the Reggie. When they elevated him, he said he didn't want it. But now we're finding out that you can make multi-millions depending on who you are. You got to have that dynamic without being a champion, a multi-belt holder. You can make money that way. And that's what I like about Al-Sheikh, because it's not like he's putting on crazy championship fights now. Let's be honest. Those fights that he put on over there, it wasn't like, they was big championship fights. Daniel Dubois, Jarrell Miller wasn't championship fight. Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker wasn't a championship fight. Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin, it wasn't a championship fight. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, no championship. He's putting on big fights and people being able to tune in, and no one's talking about the same rhetoric as pay-per-view numbers. We're just basically talking about the fight themselves. August 3rd, we have a heavy card. Nobody should be talking about the pay-per-view numbers unless they're going to wait the fight week and come out here and say, well, I heard WCS mention it. I want to talk about pay-per-view numbers since it's going to be in the U.S. just to piss him off. What do y'all think Crawford going to do? Because he ain't never sold. He ain't did nothing big. You know what I'm saying? When he sat there and fought Spence, that's the biggest pay-per-views he's did. What do you think the pay-per-view is going to be this time? They're going to continue to say that the man don't sell. But they can't say that he's not making grand moves in the sport of boxing for his career. I absolutely love it, man. I love that he got support from someone who has the funds. Not only that, he's fighting on one of the heaviest cards this year. PBC, absent of being any competition. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank has been transparent, continue to put on fight cards. Matchroom has been in the building on deck, putting on cards. Eddie Hearn has a very close relationship with Turk Al-Sheikh. That's a plus. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we don't really have to depend on who's going to provide the funding. This man is headlining one of the heaviest cards in the U.S. with some top hitters. And I don't think any other promotion over here could have put on this type of card. You got Zoo and Virgil Ortiz, and nobody's talking about Zoo just coming off a loss. Nobody's talking about that, y'all. They just saying, "Oh man, this is gonna be a heck." Man, I'm telling you, to each his own. People pick and choose, man. They very finicky when they want to be honest, and when they want to tell a lie, they very finicky now. This man just came off a loss, and nobody's talking about him losing. They talking about him going in there against Virgil Ortiz, who's 21 by way of 21 knockouts, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Then you have Jarrell Miller, Andy Ruiz. Nobody's talking about Jarrell Miller's loss against Daniel Dubois. They're talking about him going in there against Andy Ruiz. Isaac Cruz just beat the easiest champion at 140 pound division. No one's talking about how he got the belt and Rolly was an easy touch. They're talking about him stepping in there with El Rayo, man, and what El Rayo did to Chris Colbert. If we can just stay with this type of mentality when it comes to boxing, oh man, it'll be amazing. Then we have Abner Mares and Leo Santa Cruz in a farewell fight for the elderly. You know what I'm saying? It's still a good fight. It's still a good fight. Not to forget Andy Cruz going this against Tony Moran. I think that's still his opponent. Shout out to Andy Cruz. He's making his way up the ladder, doing 10 rounders in his debut. He's still climbing, trying to get his name out there. But in reality, that's a heavy fight card. And a lot of people with anticipation is waiting on Crawford to split the ropes and come in there and see what Madrimov has to offer to Crawford. Will there be adversity from either side of the square? We still have boxing fans out here talking about Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Neither one of them compares to Crawford, Madrimov. But they was making their rounds over here based off who was supposed to win versus who actually won. A lot of people, and in hindsight, they'll try to sit up here and switch up on you, but they actually thought Devin Haney was going to win, like myself. But Ryan Garcia pulled it out. I wouldn't say that fight was a sleeper, but I did know Ryan Garcia was defeated by Gervonta Davis. And that fight it made its rounds, and it was in boxing conversations. Now, this fight in August, man, people are going to be talking about that fight. No matter if they hate Crawford or not, they're going to be talking about this fight, man. And it's several months away now. But they're going to be talking about it because it's a heavy fight card. And the relief of it is the money, the promo. I can't wait to see Turk put together that promo. They used to the gore and freaking darkness, Marvel comic type promo. I'm curious to know what they're going to do with this promo, man. It should be sick. It should be sick. Not the type of sick like waiting on PBC to put out a schedule sick. No. We're talking about actual knowing, that we're going to expect something to be special when they put this promo out. Real talk. Shout out to my guy, Dion Washington, stand on code out of Tuscaloosa. Salute to you, Dion. I see you in the building. What they BSing on now? Nothing. Pretty much. Benavidez just came out and said Turk Al-Sheikh had offered him Crawford at 160. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a big fight because a lot of people would assume that Crawford had no chance against Benavidez. You know, I just like the fact that Crawford continued to make moves behind the scene and he's showing boxing whether you like it or not. I'm continuing to be greater than I am now. And I'm doing that behind the scenes. And it requires me to be in communication with big shakers and movers, whether you like it or not. Because most of the time they always talking about who ain't doing great business. And we got their favorite fighter that's being sued for not paying his trainer. And we got one of your favorite trainers who could do no wrong, trainer of the year, and this, that, and the other. He was up here talking about how much Bomac weighed and what he ate. But yet he didn't even know if he's supposed to get 10% of the freaking guarantee or 10% of the overall purse, man. And I remember myself and my colleague Shot News talked about this a ways back. And you know, we was discussing how trainers, you know, get the guarantee. They get their percentage off the guarantee, man. Crawford's way better businessman than any other the bozos called the Al guys. Hey, we're gonna get to one of the Al guys in a minute too. You know, we're gonna get to one of the Al guys. Okay, the guy they call Al. Cooking with Sir Senior in the building. I see you on deck with it, man. So can we finally say not only BBE Bud beats everyone, but EDB everyone ducks Bud? Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's cool with me. EDB. You know what I'm saying? Everyone ducks Bud, but I have to stay. I have to stay on cold. Like my boy Dion say. I don't think, and I know for a fact, David Benavidez didn't duck no Crawford. 160, bro. 160? No way. No way, man. No way. That man. You want to talk about weight drain? Crawford wouldn't have got no credit for beating David Benavidez at 160. They would have said he put all this, you know, weight clause in there. He knows darn well David too big for that weight class, and he's a freaking cruiserweight. And Crawford made him do this and made him do that. He'll never get no credit there, Sir Senior. Never, bro. Never. Shout out to the OG, Mr. Golden, in the building. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to Jones on deck in the building. I hope you prayed in church. I absolutely prayed for you, Carlos, and Bug Gonna Stop Canelo. I prayed for y'all three today. You know what I'm saying? I did. Y'all was up here talking about that damn diss track was fire. No, we have, you know, Chris Brown who was laying that heat, and Quavo was laying his heat. That's real. PBC band, please get out your bugles for the departure 2024. Dang, Conquest up here talking about departure, man. He's up here talking about sending somebody off for good. No, bro. They just signed an epic deal, man, with Amazon Prime. Give them an opportunity to get acclimated in the introductory phase, their Conquest. Allow them to get acclimated, brother. You're being a little impatient with the bugles. Start with the harmonicas, man. You know what I'm saying? Start with the harmonicas, the cymbal. You know, start with the smaller instruments, not the bugles, man. Give them a minute to get in place. Give them a little harmonica, you know, music, and see if it kind of changes and brings some ideas to them. Don't ride them off just yet. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. All these are program boxing widows that don't know about shit that really be going down. They listen scammers with no real life boxing stats. Stats, yeah, they are absent of stats, which is whack. No stats. You know what I'm saying? The stats are absent. Let me touch on one of the Al guys while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna, you know, step to the right, like doing the electric slide a little bit. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left. There was a video out with Jamal Charlo. Charlo, y'all, was supposed to be the one who fought Canelo last September. This was in the process of the you know, when Shani was talking about scams, there was a scam going on with the IBF when they was, you know, getting the paperwork done to scam Crawford out of his freaking title. But anyway, back on topic, okay? Jamal Charlo was on live with Chad Johnson, okay? AKA Ocho Cinco, okay? And he was pretty much saying that he was next up to fight Canelo. And initially when he said, I said, wow. He's still in line to fight Canelo. Wow, I just can't wait because I actually thought he did pretty decent against Jose Benavidez, right? I said, dang, okay, Charlo. And then he really got comfortable. He said he was in the penthouse suite. So my natural reaction, I'm like, okay, penthouse suite, why? Where you at? And then he starts saying that, he ain't seen his kids in a while and stuff. And I don't really want to play around with nobody ain't seeing their kids. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to do it. As much as I don't really support them like that. But anyway, he said he was in the penthouse suite. And then the real mall, Charlo, the real Charlo, please stand up. He started talking about that he was supposed to be next up to fight Canelo. And Chad was talking about possibly coming over there. He said, no, I gotta get my head right, and everything. I gotta dial it back in. Pretty much he was telling people that, he's going through some stuff right now. So if he's going through some things, he ain't stepping in the ring with Canelo anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? He ain't stepping in the ring with Canelo anytime soon. And the fight that he was talking about with Canelo, maybe that was sounding good to start the conversations with Chad and everything, but no, nobody's really looking at him coming back to fight Canelo because I don't think the money is there, unless Turk Al-Sheikh want to spend some liquid and put Charlo in the ring with somebody. I don't know if it's going to be Canelo. I don't think anybody's looking for that fight. And then also he said he wasn't drinking or doing any drugs, but he seemed to be. It's hard to tell with Charlo. Right now, every time I hear him talk, it seems like he's intoxicated. It seems like he freaking slurring his speech, man. That might be signs of pugilistica. I don't know, man. He just started to go down a winding road of his current situation. In the midst of asking Chad Johnson for a Cuban cigar, he was saying, yeah, man, come over here when I get my head right, then it'll be good to go and all that. But, he did put it out there. He wasn't able to see his kids recently, that he gave up the mansion and everything. I don't know. I kind of hope Charlo get it together. It was good that I was able to meet him down there when his head was clear. It was good that Roy Jones Jr., the legend, was able to put him in a different headspace. Because he when I seen him show up to Vegas for his brother's fight, it looked good, man. Charlo eyes didn't look glossy. He was experiencing a moment of sobriety due to Roy Jones making sure he was there, like he was gonna get that shit out of his system. Because when you go down to Bodyhead Island, that's the only thing you can do down there. You got them animals freaking, they know who knew on deck. You know what I'm saying? You got all that quiet space to get yourself right. But hey, RJJ is not his father. So, you're dealing with a grown man. He going to do grown man things. You're going to be like, it was fun. I went there and got the Jose Benavidez fight over with. I'm going to go back up to where my people's at and where I live. And then he get back to doing the same stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not sad because he's been at the top. He's still at the top. He's a middleweight, WBC middleweight world champion. But he does have some problems that he has to attend to mentally, psychologically. That's why I didn't like what Ryan Garcia was playing around with mental health and acting like he was crazy. Because you definitely have some fighters out here that's going through some stuff. Real talk. is really going through some things. Most PBC fighters got 12 years of slave contracts with that guy who EJ said Al told him. Hey man, Al said it was generous. That guy said Al said it was generous. But it just goes to show you, man, when you got a fan base, you know what I'm saying? When you got one of those fan base that reminds you of the gum you used to feel on the bottom of your school desk, all chewed up, no taste left. You know what I'm saying? That's what type of fan base that Spence had. For real, he had the worst fan base ever in the sport. I said 1,000 times over. You know what I'm saying? They the Gatorade bottle with no Gatorade in it. You know, they make it seem like, hey, you getting something out of this, okay? And then you look at it, it's nothing in there though. But it's you just going off the label. Aerosexuals. That's all you need to know. We're aerosexuals. That's it. Okay. So that means y'all support aerospace. Yes, we aerosexuals. That's what we do. They refusing to speak up on this deal. I don't like it when Crawford's out here making deals the right way, and he's not locked into a 12-year, 360-degree elbow, knee joint replacement freaking contract. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't hear y'all being voiceful the way you were in those years leading up to Spence and Crawford. I don't hear Penis Head over there talking about Errol Spence and how him and Derrick James is looking real bad out here. You know what I'm saying? He's not running a smear campaign on EJ. He's not running a smear campaign on Diddy. Come on, bro. How can you say Garcia and all those fights, Ugas, Ugas, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and you didn't know what you get 10% off the front or the back end? You didn't know how much your fighter was getting paid? Terrence Crawford beat him up so bad that you said, you know what, I got to get more compensation for this embarrassment. Come on, man. Y'all not even attempting to hold yourself accountable. All you have to do is say, you know what, I should speak up a bit more about this. But they ain't going to do it because I keep on mentioning it. That's what cowards do, man. That's what cowards do. They crawl up under a shady spot, out of sight, out of mind. You see their little beady eyes back there, man. Please don't, you don't come back here and see me. Oh, he don't have that raid in his hand again, does he? Come on, bro. Come on. Y'all not even talking about, the business part of it. Y'all was busy up here focused on Crawford doing bad business. He's moving funny, but yet we have two of your favorites that's headed to court. While Crawford up here, Turk Al-Sheikh offering him a fight with David Benavidez for August, which would have been huge, epic, grandiose. Shout out to Jessica the Queen on deck in the building. I see you. What's good with you? Salute to everybody's on deck. If y'all could do me a favor and refresh the super chat with a minimum of $1 million. Please, I'm trying to do bigger things in life. Can you just refresh the super chat with a minimum of $1 million? Okay, it'll go through. I know I got some cats in the chat with some money like that. If you can't drop $1 million, at least drop 800K. All right. If not 800K, the lowest I'll go is 756K. If you can drop that in the chat, I appreciate you. The holidays will be here soon. I'm trying to goddamn move up in life. And they trying to justify it too, right or wrong. Hey, man, that's why they got to be held accountable, bro. For real. Chris Body Quavo, though. I mean, there was actually bars, though. You know what I'm saying? That was actually bars. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Samad Warren in the building. Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute WCS certified stamp the like button and support the grind. I hear you, man. Appreciate you pulling up as always, brother. Dion Washington says send the contract. Well, No, he couldn't get permission. He said he was with the PBC, and the guy they call Al wouldn't approve it. They say he was supposed to be on the June card, so they wanted him to compliment Tank Davis and Frank Martin. So now he's on that co-main event on the June card, the one that Kamel Moulton has just been removed from because he put a post up to say the best team. Yeah, that fight. Um, they can't afford to lose anymore off that card. So David Benavidez is fighting Alexander Vosik, and yeah, the co-main event. So I see where he at with it. I might fall from a tall building. Hey, Fall Guys, Ninjas, Lee Majors. Hey man, you say Lee Majors now, they might believe they're the $6 million man. They might believe they have bionic powers, bro. You bringing up Lee Majors like I wasn't the one watching it. Come on, man. The $6 million man. Dang. For real, man. Shout out to the GOAT, man, Roy Jones Jr. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Smash the like button. It's free Hot Grease Chronicles for sure, man. And definitely subscribe and become a member at News by Shaw News Experience. You know what I'm saying? Great content he putting out over there. Make sure y'all support the brother, the hottest in the game, on deck. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing, man. Carlos said, WCS salute, hottest chat in MF and game. Salute to you, Carlos. I see you on deck in the building. What's good with it? Bud versus Benavidez. Is this actually happening? Because take my money now. No. Turk Al-Sheikh presented it to David Benavidez, and he rejected it because the PBC wanted him to be on the June card with the Tank, Gervonta Davis, and Frank Martin as the headliner. And I can see where they at with that. But also, he also made it known that he could not make 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying? The fight was at 160 pounds. So, like I said before, I'm glad the fight is not happening. And Crawford is fighting somebody at 154 pounds because that pretty much reduces the amount of vitriol that he would have received fighting David Benavidez at 160. He get to fight Marjamov, who's a current reigning defending undefeated WBA super welterweight world champion, undefeated. The only excuse they're gonna have is, how did this happen? Turk Al-Sheikh knows that man only had 11 fights. He knew that already. Why would he send him in there against Crawford? Why? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be asking the same stupid questions, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, Crawford has 29 more fights than this guy. How is that supposed to be an equal fight? And then you say, well, he did have a belt. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Who was he? They're going to try to bring up the David Avanesian freaking, talking point and argument. What is nobody knows him? It's not going to make a difference. We're going from being great to greater for greatest. That's where the freaking compass is trying to point to. That freaking destination. That shit crazy how Derek had no clue about the books. Shaking my head, but hey, what do I know? Got him. You know you do have options. And do have options. And the bad thing about you bringing that up is that they vilified the hell out of Crawford for wanting to see the books with Al Heyman. But somehow, those two individuals included in this lawsuit, or in this court case to sue for funds, the only advice that came from the advisor was $350,000 was generous. But they was busy talking about how Crawford didn't deserve to see the books. Maybe Derek should have asked to see, the books. He should have been on top of his game. I know he heard the criticism they was putting out there about Crawford. Been doing poor business, don't know what he's doing. How dare he try to ask for the books? Maybe Diddy James should have asked to see the books, man. How can you spend that many years with Spence only to find out his head has been beneath the guillotine all this time, just waiting and waiting for them to drop and pull that rope. They almost got him. Hey, Shaw News, they almost got him. Somehow Derek said, "Oh, hold up. I had an epiphany the other night. Man, you made how much? And I'm supposed to get how much? I mean, I'm supposed to get look. I'm supposed to get 10% of the whole purse, man. Not 10% of the guarantee. Somebody lying. You said you got paid $15. You told me you got paid $15, man. My guarantee, I'm finding out you got paid how much millions? He probably sent that rematch money too. I wish that rematch would have happened. Got you on the back end with the money for real. That back end money, right? You know what I'm saying? That back end trainers. Just imagine trainers got paid on the back end, yo. Would they ever get paid? Would the trainers ever get paid, man? Oh yeah, I forgot Benavidez on that tank card. Yeah, he on the tank card, dog. Real talk. And which is a good card. No, I ain't taking no EBT, yo. That's a good card. But look how things come full circle, y'all. Look how things come full circle. You aerosexuals, you pathetic group of a fan base. You spent all those hours and hours of airtime wasting your oxygen talking about what Bud Crawford didn't rate, he was doing all wrong, when the whole entire time Spence was planning a robbery. Spence was planning a robbery, not just with the shirts now, not with just the smoking on Bud pack and the freaking strawberry season shirts that was out there. But he was faking accidents, putting up a whole freaking Hollywood freaking accident scene, right? Charging y'all $200 for one shirt. And the whole time, he's not even giving Derrick James the correct amount of money he getting paid. And you know who that has to be. That's him and the guy called Al. You know what I'm saying? They was colluding together on this. How can Derrick not know? How can you go off a verbal agreement the entire time that you've been linked up with this fighter? And you expect to go to court and win? Look, he expect to go to court and win, but y'all was talking about how Crawford is doing such bad business. And y'all always wanted to backdate it to Top Rank. No, let's move it forward. Let's move it forward and get to the premise, the facts of 2024. We're seeing two people that's headed to court that you all was considering to do great business by the one and only, the guy they call Al. That's what y'all said. Oh, Al got him. Al is the best of that. Al, they don't dare criticize Al. Al said 350 was generous to you, Derrick. He said it was generous. He said he don't care about that 2-time award, that you got for Trainer of the Year. He said what Spence gave you for his fight against Crawford was generous. I want to know what the aerosexuals have to say about this. I want to know when you're gonna leave the barrel and bring your furry, scurry, asses to the damn surface. First of all, clean up. You stank. And I want to hear what y'all have to say since you're being ostracized last year. What do you have to say about this? Two of your favorite people, your most popular people over there in Texas, is going to court because of bad business. I mean, all the live streams, no one can call their sources up and say, "Hey, man, I just want to ask, is everything right?" Because I'm scrutinized Crawford doing poor business. Okay, he's moving funny, but I just want to make sure Spence and Diddy James ain't moving funny either. Can you give me some of that information? You can't. Okay, not even Dookie Duke. Not even Dookie Duke. He was quick to show the phone. Hey, look right here. I got Spence. I mean, could nobody come up with a source to see this coming, so we could have talked about it and kind of prevented it from happening. We probably could have persuaded Spence to be honest, have integrity. If you're supposed to pay this man 10% of your overall check, you should have did it. He say you owe him $5+ million. I know that's gonna take away some of the chickens and horses that you was planning on buying. You know what I'm saying? Some freaking, some extra freaking chicken wire to make some coops. Feed. You know what I'm saying? That farmhand feed. Certain things like that. But let's get the aerosexuals to do their job this time. Let's corral them. Okay? Let's call animal control. Let's corral them, put them all in a group, and one by one, try to figure out who's supposed to be in charge of this. Because I want to know why you all didn't identify that Errol Spence and Diddy James had business issues. I mean, y'all can sit up there and wave around a coffee cup in your hand and act like you know everything there is to do with running smear campaigns. But you couldn't stop this business transaction. You didn't know that potentially, EJ didn't pay Diddy James all the way back to freaking Sean Porter. Is that what you're trying to tell? All those hours and days and months that you took, y'all couldn't get together and have a dang logical, intelligent conversation and say, hey, we talk about business all the time. We talk about numbers. You couldn't get with the light-skinned guy? I call him the 3%er. You couldn't get with the 3%er of African American in him and get with him and say, hey, you talk about numbers all the time. Did you know these two had problems? While Crawford is over here about the fight in the headliner in the debut of royalty. He's been knowing this guy for years. But yet, you wouldn't know from all the hatred that y'all was talking about. Talking about he moving funny. Now, let's not talk about who's moving funny. Let's talk about who's looking funny. It's looking hella funny over there in Texas with freaking EJ and Diddy James. Because all these people that were supposed to have their best interests never had it at all. And I'm going to tell you, aerosexual, we're not using short leashes when we go corral y'all. We're going to find out who's the freaking leader. We're using cattle prods. We're not using short leashes and take you all and put you in there and give you a meal. No, we're using cattle prods. When you wake up, you know what I'm saying? When you feel that cold water, when we dump that cold water in the freaking pen, we're going to get down to the bottom of who should have known about this. Who should have known? Over and over again, we want to hear the same shit that this man wasn't doing what he was supposed to. Now, I don't see you doing a follow-up. Now, I suggest this. This is what I suggest. Can y'all start another debate series? Make this a 50 channel debate series. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about the 3% black guy. You put your own money up because you're always over here talking about how much money. Put 50 grand up there and have a debate series and try to narrow down as to who's to blame, EJ or Diddy James, as to why the business was funny, which made the money look different. Please, somebody explain to me how we can make this work. Gig with the 3%er, all right? And let's try to find out why the money's funny. Errol Spence Jr. versus Diddy James, a.k.a. Derrick James. We need to have a debate on who's at fault. We just can't not do a debate series on this now. Y'all freaking ran a smear campaign on Crawford. Now it's EJ's turn. And the ones that I'm basically designating for this freaking um for this task is 100% aerosexuals. You all need to get together. I'm giving you an opportunity to use your own freaking initiative and start a debate series. Put your own money up because you got that money, right? You got that bread. Put your own money up, $50,000 pot, and let's try to have a debate on who's at fault, EJ or Diddy James, Diddy James or EJ. God damn it, no procrastinating. Let me read this over again. Shit crazy how Derek had no clue. No clue, but the aerosexuals had all the answers about Crawford, who was about to fight, who was trying to get set up, for a fight August to fight David Benavidez, right? To fight David Benavidez. And they talking about how the man is moving funny. But coming off this fight, they say he was on extended victory lap, but he's a part of the biggest fight card this year. He's on that. He's on that. But Diddy James had no clue about the books, y'all. How? How can you be doing an epilogue? You're part of the epilogue, and you're jogging up the street. Maybe you weren't trying to be in the camera and dance up front all the time. Maybe you could have fell back. Let me see. Let me think about this. Maybe I should get some people. I need to hire somebody to look at the books. Nah, fuck that. I got Ryan Garcia on deck. Nah, I'm about to get paid. I'll get to it later. He waited till Ryan Garcia came out and paid him, and then Ryan probably, was up there, getting high. And then he said, "Hey, Derek, how much your EJ pay you?" And that's when all the bulb came on. It came on flickering though. It came on flickering. It just didn't turn on and shit. It came on flickering because when Diddy get to talking, that bulb just be flickering on and off. He said, "How much did EJ pay you?" Because Ryan Garcia came up with this conversation when it was time to pay him. He said, "Oh, he paid me this off the guarantee." "You sure?" "No, it's off the back end." I don't know. Why am I supposed to get this at the front or the back? Man, come on. So how much you got paid for him so far? And I'm paying you this? Oh my, no, you need to check into that. So what Ryan Garcia did is persuade Diddy James to find out if his books was in order, y'all. Another white man telling a black man how to check the books. God damn. Oh my God. Come on, man. We had the whole entire aerosexual force of black content creators raining down criticism on Crawford, but yet when it came to their black pundits, the ones they wanted to brace and coddle, they wasn't even doing proper business. And look, I don't hear them blaming it on the pretty white man. Come on, why don't y'all blaming it on the pretty white man? Mr. Mascara Spritz. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been quiet. When y'all pussies gonna speak up? Y'all are so quiet, man. Why you not talking about Diddy and taken advantage of by the pretty white man by suggesting that he should really dig into his books because he don't know if it's the front, the back, the front. Zicky, zicky, zicky. You're whack. The front, the back, the front, the back, the front. I mean, how can you not know, man? You got all that money. You had a world-class furniture store. You had to spend some money on getting that facility. Now it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, real talk. Because y'all remember when Spence had to leave Texas because it was a heat wave and he was going over to Vegas last year? And they said it was like 170 degrees in that gym. That's probably why he couldn't get an AC unit to work, man. Because EJ wasn't paying that man the amount of money. He's barely making it. EJ was his star pupil, and he was barely making it. Didn't even have enough to buy an AC unit to goddamn, cool down that damn garage. For real. Don't make any sense, man. He heard Bomac had got 2+ million. He said, "What? That's not right. They supposed to get 350K." Man, I'm telling that pretty white man woke up Diddy James. That bulb came flickering. That shit was sounding like Morse code. And I bet Diddy James was looking up at the ceiling. What did you say to me, Ryan? I'm just saying, I'm paying you this, and I'm paying it right now. So on my guarantee, I'm paying you so you telling me you don't know you're supposed to get paid off the guarantee of the back end? It seems a little bit fishy to me. It seems like you, come on, Derek, you're smarter than this. You taught me. You trained me to beat Devin. You're smart. You know, you just can't be a smart coach, man, and be a poor businessman. Yeah, you just can't do that. You need to wake up and you need to question Spence. You need to freaking talk to him again and find out when he's supposed to pay you. If he's supposed to pay you a percentage on the overall or what. And then also, you should do a IG live, and tell all them aerosexuals to come up here and help do investigation on this entire matter, because they was busy supporting the dude. But yet I told their ass, didn't I not, their hottest chat in the MF game? Didn't I tell them to pay more attention to Spence than Crawford? I told them scumbags. I say, pay attention to Errol Spence more than you paying attention to Crawford, because you may be missing something. And guess what? It's all over the news. It's all over. It's done went viral. 2 black men going to court, do the business, poor business awareness. Them ninjas was like, "No, just pay me $750,000 and send the $5 million on the back end." Hey man, we don't know what happened, but I know what didn't happen. Instead of them talking about Crawford, they should have been talking about Spence. They should have been making sure everything was in line, in order. All the bullets was in a row. All the I's dotted and the T's crossed. It's not sad. It's just expected, man. We expected them to fall on their face. And look, they just sit up here and abandon him like that. That's why Spence never said nothing to y'all when he went live with that eye patch. He never even respected y'all enough to even shout you out. Even though some of you scoundrels was in the live chat. Ooh, here I am over here. Hey, champ, EJ, it's me. It's Dookie Duke. Right here, look at it. Come on, man. Dookie Duke, where you at? Call up your sources. Yeah, call up your sources, man. All these cats are supposed to have EJ's number. You can never get no information. I forgot. It would be hard for you to get the information off Diddy James, because he don't like really communicate with black people unless he's insulting them. It was tough for him to communicate and train Spence now. You know, he got the most money out of Ryan Garcia. So, of course, he's going to be braggadocious in court, Your Honor. I never thought I'd say this, but one of my best fighters I ever trained in my professional career was Ryan Garcia. Even though I was only with him for 2 fights, he treated me better than that other guy did the entire 15 years. It breaks me to say this, but Your Honor, he owes me. I put up there with all the freaking fight camp schedules that he missed. He never showed up. All the appointments and the scheduling that I had at the gym, I could have fit other fighters in there. He didn't show up several times. And then come to find out, I knew Your Honor verbally, because we know verbal Come on, Your Honor. Verbal is just as good as having a hard contract document. What he was paying me, Your Honor, I couldn't even pay for paper. I couldn't pay for legal representation. I thought about hiring a couple of them aerosexuals. I said, hell no, I really goddamn burn my money first. He couldn't get it done. But yet he's going into court. You aerosexuals, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. The very two people that you went life and limb for, stabbing people in the back, trying to get their channels taken down. You all was doing a disservice the entire time, but not even paying attention to the core problem. The core problem was EJ and DJ. Them J's, man, them J's. One of them gonna get justice. It's gonna be EJ or DJ. One of them J's are gonna goddamn shine brighter than the other. Believe that. Dookie Duke, Duke, Duke. Where is your sources? Mr. Dookie Duke, Duke, Duke. Where all y'all niggas at, man? ETB? Where all the sources at? Come on, man. It got to be somebody over there. I know somebody know. I know somebody know. I don't need a Rottweiler to walk in the room. I know somebody got the answers. Who was supposed to be in charge of this, man? Who was supposed to be in charge of this right here? Who's supposed to be in charge of making sure that your favorite fighter was doing what he's supposed to do and your favorite trainer was being compensated for training your favorite fighter? Has anyone spotted anyone wearing or using those bullish smoking on Bud t-shirts EJ scammed the aerosexuals to buy? Has anyone spotted anyone wearing or using those smoking on Bud t-shirts EJ scammed the aerosexuals to buy? Have they even used them for dumpster juice cleanup? Man, see, y'all about to make it nasty. Y'all about to get disrespectful for real. I've been trying to keep it classy. I've been trying to keep it classy, man. You know, I don't recommend y'all do that. You know what I'm saying? But I've been trying to keep it classy and just hold them accountable. The whole entire focus in 23, 22 was the same thing. Business, he's moving funny, he ain't doing what he's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? The same thing over and over again. They chose practicing bar certified real lawyer. They chose practicing bar certified. I think they're unemployed freaking wannabes who assume that they know everything about the numbers. At least that's what they was acting like in 2022. Everybody knew what the percentages were. They knew what Arrow's supposed to get. They knew what Bud shouldn't get. They knew the cliche terms to use that Bud was bad for business. He was attached to Daniel Cunningham. All this information, but you couldn't call up the team and make sure Derek had a solid CFO on deck, an accountant, someone to overlook his expenses, or he became complacent. He became complacent with his fighter. I guess if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. EJ was upset with how bad he got beat by Bud and tried to take it out on Derek. I think Derek was easy for EJ to be mad at and blame behind closed doors. Ryan may be the whistleblower. Man, you come on. You think that pretty boy didn't drop the dime? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He dropped the dime, man. Ryan Garcia instigated all that when he had to pay DJ. You know, DJ was so happy because he missed out on the AJ payday, right? He was talking. He said, "Hey, I don't mean to get in your business, but I know I'm paying you this. What EJ been paying you the whole time? Oh, he been paying me this. What? You trying to tell me all those huge fights that he was getting? The Mikey Garcia fight, Danny Garcia, Udenis Ugas, Sean Porter. I paid you the most for a fight that you've been with longer than I have? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, wow. I think you should really do a little bit more research and see if he owes you money. And then look, Ryan Garcia, dad was there too. They started instigating it. Then his brother, yeah, Derek, my brother makes sure he gets paid. He's a millionaire. 25 years old with 100 mil. He's a millionaire. His brother started trying to goddamn lecture Derrick James. Man, it's crazy. You need to chill. You're making too much sense. Those aerosexuals might start jumping out of a window and blaming it on you. No, the aerosexuals would not, blame anybody in this chat. First of all, they don't consider us to be financially equal. Okay, we have to make that. We have to bring that fact up, Smart. Smart. We have to make sure that we understand. We've been told that we're not financially equal. We're broke. You know what I'm saying? That's what has been told over here in this chat by the 3%er. He came over here talking about money, 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 money. And I'm looking for Nino John. Where Nino at? We're not financially equal to make that argument. Jogging, deaf, dumb, and blind. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right. Jogging shoes, deaf, dumb, and blind. Don't put them out there on the street yet, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to remind them they have responsibilities in the aftermath of July 29th, 2023. You still have responsibilities. You're still required for your due diligence to follow through with this and try to find out who's responsible. Y'all was all banded together doing 1,500 live streams a month, talking about the same topic. Crawford was the topic, but Crawford he has the big fights coming up. You know what I'm saying? But the very same fighter that you was advocating for last year, you have since abandoned. Why? Why would you do the black man like that? I'm sick of it, man. Stop doing the black man like that, man. What did he do to you? He didn't recognize you all when he came out of having extensive surgery. Come on, man. Stop being selfish. Y'all need to stop being selfish for real. Seriously, y'all need to stop being selfish like that. That man came out of surgery, went live, did not acknowledge a single aerosexual Y'all shouldn't treat him like he nobody, like he did you. Be better. Two wrongs don't make a fucking right. Okay. Diddy was like you. You 1.5 million too much in my account. Like Diddy was like, yo, you 1.5 million too much in my account. Nah, man. That man didn't even know what he's supposed to get on the front end or the back end. That's bad business, man. That's bad business. Was out there jogging in the heat, sun after eating an edible allegedly. All I seen was on freaking epilogue that this man was running up the street. He didn't care about what was going in his account. He didn't care. Dan on deck, I see you, man. What's good with it? Y'all missing the whole point. EJ didn't pay Diddy, Jay, because he slapped out of him on national TV. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now we're getting down to it. Now we're getting to bring up the evidence. Bring up the evidence. Him on national TV, instead of suing him for assault, he deducted from his pay and watch it come out in court. Hey, man. Hey, you make a solid point. You make a solid point, man. Let's not forget that Diddy James did come over the top of the right hand and leave Spence dizzy to the point where he had to walk back to the neutral corner, reset, shake it out a little bit. Yeah. That was because, Diddy James got his payback on fight week from EJ punching him in the lip. Or for any trainer to get busted lip like that, maybe his mitt drill wasn't efficient. Maybe that was it. Them nurses probably like, who him? He was not in the medical facility. Hey man, he went live. He had some masking tape over his eye. He got eye surgery, man. The cataracts, man. Them shirts been dropped off to some third world country. No. From what I understood to the aerosexuals that I seen, you know what I'm saying, they use them as pillows on their burrow. You know what I'm saying, for installation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I heard. They chewed through half of it and they use it different, the line, the edges, the inner layer of the burrow, for installation. That's all. You gotta have installation, man. Keep it nice and cool down there. That's what I heard, man. That's what I heard. Don't quote me on there. You know what I'm saying? Don't quote me that, MD. There's some poor kids running around in Bangladesh with smoking on Bud t-shirt. Man, so you trying to tell me they didn't keep them? They didn't have to get rid of them. I know the ones that took that secret trip over to Vegas and they was planning a group picture afterwards. I think they made good use of the t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Cleaning off the dashboards of their vehicles that they had before they made the bet to turn it over to the new owners. I think that was very, very good of them to use those resources. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? To put that armor all up there on the dash, clean it up nice and good so they can, do the changeover, the key drop to the new owners because they put their car up for freaking, collateral. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm not trying to bring up something, some old wounds. But hey, clean off the tires, get the cobwebs out the corner. You know what I'm saying? Windex the windows. Or if you have pets, you know how pets sometimes just put droppings everywhere. Just use it to pick up the droppings and put them outside in the yard. I'm just saying, it's multitask, man. Use it to the best of your ability. That's all. It makes Ryan calling out Spence shortly after beating Dev kind of makes sense in my opinion. Yes, because once again, he's the instigator. Money came up. Everybody got to talking. I think Diddy James was kind of feeling good too. You know what I'm saying? Somebody poured, they may have poured some freaking yak over his head. And he said, that tastes good. Okay. And then, Ryan was smoking, secondhand contact. And he said, hey, DJ, that money I gave you cleared? Yeah, cleared. Just, just for, not trying to get in your business, but How much do EJ pay? Y'all been together for a long time. How much he pay you? Oh wow. I pay you that much more than what he paid? Yeah, man. You know, we had a verbal agreement. A verbal agreement? Dude, you ain't really had like your business in order per paperwork? Wow. Now that WCS, you know what I'm saying? And all them people that was criticizing you now know what that was about. But hey, check this out. You might want to try to get I got a good CFO and accountant, man. Have him look into it, right? And see if you were supposed to. Do you have any text message? You know, they start going through the name, the 9 line. They start trying to check and check and check, and see, you can tell that DJ don't have any evidence because he said it was a verbal agreement, and Spence admitted to it on the phone. How are you supposed to go to court off something that's hearsay? I'd be highly surprised if he comes out on top. I think he's not going to win this case, man. And that's unfortunate because money is going to have these two never speaking to each other again, yo. Seriously. They're not going to speak after this. It's over. It's over, man. It's over. They was some expensive rags. Yeah, yeah. What was he charging for those shirts? Like over a bill? I got that Haney pack leaking in my lungs. Yeah, I know you said that early in the live. I skipped over it. So I guess you had to say it again. Hey, brother, I pray for you, man. Come on now. Come on now. I already done got through this, man. It makes Ryan calling out Spence shortly. The fact that it all makes sense now that he said he want to fight Spence to get freaking retribution for Diddy James not doing good business. That don't have anything to do with you. You know what I'm saying? You fired Joe Goosen because you get dropped from a body shot from a pre-existing injury. So what did Joe Goosen have to do with it, Ryan Garcia? I really don't care. But I'm just saying you all over the place. Then you go over here and win 2 fights with Diddy James, and you get him to look into your finances. And then you want to talk about everything's a verbal agreement. You really look bad in this case, man. Look really, really bad, bro. Let's look really bad for DJ. It looked really bad. For real. It looks real bad. Because you was just going along to get along. You just knew that Spence was supposed to be at the gym at this time, and you supposed to have this certain training. If you wouldn't have spent so much time kicking out freaking ILTBA and freaking Blu-ray, maybe they would have hung around long enough to say, hey DJ, why don't you I'm just saying, I've been speaking to other boxers. Maybe you should check and see if you getting paid your money on the front end or the back end. I'm just saying, media, we talk all the time. I'm just saying, it was brought up. I'm not getting into your business. It was brought up. That's all I'm saying. Okay, man, I knew I kept y'all around for. I love y'all, man. Maybe it would have been some genuine love there from DJ. You know what I'm saying? Maybe IO could have told Derrick James, hey, man, a lot of people talking about how they freaking accountants set up and how they getting paid. I ain't trying to get in your business, but are you paid on the front end or the back end? Hey, history could have avoided. Hey, history could have avoided this now. Frank probably was like, "Yo, what they talking about? Pay, man, man. Hey, man, I don't even want to get on Frank, but Frank to me, hey, I think he knows what's up, man. I hope." W says, "I never doubted you. You told the truth on these content creator channels. They was hating on Bud. Now they congratulating Bud for his fight card, August 3rd. You spoke the truth to hate on the YTC. Hey, man, appreciate that, man. That's all I was trying to get across to y'all. That these aerosexuals can't be trusted, man. I told you the aerosexuals is the worst ever in boxing history, man. And they're proving that to this day. A lot of them have became turncoats They spend hours upon hours and then present any apology, man. That's my thing. Like you hate and hate, especially penis head, right? You hate and hate and hate till you get a response from Bud, right? And you continue. Your whole catalog has turned into a smear campaign, but yet you don't want to come back and give an apology. You can't come back and say, "Oh, he's doing great business. He's brushing elbows with Turk Al Sheik. He's about to get paid another big paycheck." They was worried about how much he got paid with Dan David Avanesian. Penis Head went over there and said he only got 5K pay-per-view. You was sitting up here want to be, intelligent. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about, but you know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I try to put it out there. These aerosexuals, they all get on these panels, man. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like each of them, it's a group session. All of them is in the pinwheel. You ever seen a gerbil run around a pinwheel? They just run and run and run and run. And that's what they was doing on these freaking these lies that they was telling. They was pushing off bias ass narratives. Like they was running on a pinwheel. You know what I'm saying? A group of them jump off and the next group jump on. I got it, I got it. I'm in shape. I'm getting in shape. What's the topic? Um, Bud Crawford, bad businessman. Okay. Oh, see, Bud, he don't know what he doing, man. He don't know what he doing. See, that's what Bob Aaron said. He lost enough money for him to buy a house in Beverly. They go through the same stuff, and then they try to say Bub's gonna get arrested for doing, being tied in Daniel Cunningham and all that. Now you look at Bud is much more of a larger figure than people's giving him credit for. But hey, we didn't know anything about that, man. If Bud didn't honor a verbal agreement with Bomac, El Session would be saying Bud ain't a man of his word. What? Man, come on, man. Put the ruler down, man. Remove yourself from the classroom. Your lesson is too much, man. You look, Dan, you got the wrong audience, first of all. You're supposed to be in there with the high schoolers. You're down here in middle school with the special ed. You went to the wrong freaking school, man. You're up here trying to teach them some things, and they're slobbing all over themselves. They say, "Huh? What is he talking about? What? We went." You say what? Ain't a man of his. We never say that, man. You can't get across to these cats, man. How many live panels did they have where everybody was up there talking about Bud wasn't gonna be able to do? If he fights Spence on the inside, he get knocked out. He ain't fought nobody. But all along, some of the most criticism came when he attempted to do business without a promoter, and they were saying he don't deserve to see the books. How dare him ask for transparency? Be DJ. They wanted Bud to be DJ. Am I right or wrong? They wanted this man to be DJ. They wanted him to be the one that's just, all my fights are verbal. So they tell me I'm getting 2.5 and I only see $1.1 in there. They're going to give me the rest on the back end. I trust them. I spoke to Allen. He said, yeah, I agreed to everything. I'm going to get my money on the net pay on the back end. I don't need to see no transparency. I don't need to see the books. I trust him. If he say what they spending on everything and this $5.50 is what's left over, and that's what I'm getting, I trust him, man. He's a black man like me. Come on, bro. That's Al, the guy they call Al now. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop downing the black man, yo. For real. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman didn't want freaking Bud to see the books. He didn't deserve transparency. He didn't want nobody touching it. But yet somebody touching it now. Now he got his fighters over there. Somebody's touching it. You know what I'm saying? And then, they wanted to criticize Bud and Arrow doing business when that's the highest payday, for both fighters. I'm pretty sure it took a dual effort. But just the fact that Crawford was a part of it, both of them got compensated. In the meanwhile, in the furniture store, high off pledge, right? High off pledge. This man was up here talking about, AJ, man, I appreciate you, dog. We got that verbal, right? Oh, we got that verbal agreement? Man, I just can't wait to this freaking Danny Garcia fight. I'm about to get another verbal compensation. So, man, I get 10%. It don't matter if out the front or back, man. I trust you, dog. That's one thing. Us as blacks, we need to get along one another and trust each other. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Real talk. Hey, man. Look at me, man. Look at me. I trust you, man. I trust you wouldn't steer me wrong. Whether my 10% or 15% is supposed to be out the front or the back, it don't matter. If you tell me I'm getting paid $18, I say, hey, money's tight right now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for people to get funding. I have to make do with what I got, man. If $18 is what I get, that's after I pay everybody else. Hey, man, that's what it is, bro. You ain't gonna steer me wrong. You ain't gonna stab me in the back with two blades, a two-sided blade. You're not gonna do that to me. Come on, man. Shout out to Bud Gonna Stop Canelo, man. I see you in the building. Salute to you. That's all I'm saying, y'all. EJ and DJ. Former team. Now at arms. They're at odds, rather. They're at odds with one another due to poor business practices that the aerosexuals did not identify while they was focused on Bud Crawford. Y'all are pitiful. Y'all are so pathetic. Y'all are absolutely pathetic. I don't even know how y'all running households. Seriously, how are y'all running households, man? Y'all spent all that time speaking about Crawford, but yet and still you wasn't even paying attention to the very same fighters that you were supporting. And you was up here speaking, rejoicing about Crawford not being able to see the books and transparency, and that he pissed Al Heyman off, and Al ain't gonna never do any business with Crawford, and this, that, and the other. I say, wow, how stupid, man. And now this man is part of the heaviest fight card this year, while Spence is going and seeing his numero uno fan that we ain't never seen at all before. How does that work? He's going to see his number one fan supposedly, and DJ at the courthouse. DJ at the courthouse filling out paperwork, man. For real. And he almost didn't get that happen because the clerks there was trying to put closed caption up on the freaking plexiglass window. Do we have that digital closed caption that you can just put up on the window? This guy's asking me a question. I really don't know. I tried to use Siri. Siri say, hey, don't fuck with me today. Don't do this shit. Don't haze me today, goddammit. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I mean, come on, aerosexuals, man. I'm continuing to pour hot grease on you because you absolutely deserve it. I'm just asking why y'all haven't came up with a panel to discuss a debate series about EJ versus DJ. It rhymes all day, all night, and I want to hear some very educational content as to who is the blame for this happening. Is it assumptions? Is it poor business where the fighter and the trainer never got a legal team involved and did a contract? Huh? Should EJ sue the aerosexuals who's putting out all this information as if he was doing everything perfect? When he slipped up outside the ring, not only when getting behind the wheel, but he slipped up and, never put it in writing. Him and his trainer just going off feeling, you know what I'm saying? Going off sight. Oh, I know who he is, man. He ain't going nowhere. I know where she stay at and all that, man. Maybe if Diddy James would have allowed a family member in the gym, maybe the family member would have brought the topic up and say, "Hey, this is a nice place right here, man. He must be paying you nice." And then Diddy James might have said, "Well, he paid me all right, man. He paid me on the back end." What? I was over in another boxing gym because you wouldn't let us up in back then. So I went in another boxing gym just to see how shit worked. And that trainer over there said he get paid on the front end. That's the way it's supposed to work. They get paid on the guarantee. Then maybe that bulb would have just popped on instead of flickering on. Now it's flickering on due to stress levels. Shoot, man. Looks like Diddy might have to return them suits and his dancing shoes now. That money a little funny. Man, hey man, he got Frank Martin in the building and Ryan Garcia. Come on, man. Diddy bought a furniture store now and turned into a gym. Then not only did he turn into a gym, he was able to take on fighters who have had problems in life. You know what I'm saying? Each one of those fighters has experienced an ordeal. From Errol Spence Jr. to Ryan Garcia, you know what I'm saying, to Anthony Joshua. He had a pretty good amount of fighters in there that came from certain issues that they had in the civilian population. You know, I know he feels some type of way about Anthony Joshua not keeping him around so he can get that Turk Al Sheik money. I guarantee you that he probably had paperwork with AJ. He probably had paperwork with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? But to the black man, you know, that's right there in his hometown, he probably felt comfortable enough that he didn't need paperwork, contractual documentation to lock in the agreement. This on the phone stuff and this verbal, I don't know how well that's gonna play out in favor of Diddy James. And see, I don't want to say anything, but the way he did, you know what I'm saying, IOTBA and freaking Blu-ray, it might be coming back as karma, bro. Because he always felt like he didn't want to see people get any type of shine over there. This might be karma, bro. Seriously, this might be karma. He didn't want family up in there. He's talking about, I don't have no chairs in my gym. I don't want them to get comfortable. I don't want them to sit down. Well, guess what, Diddy? Maybe you had one or two chairs in here and you just took the time to sit down and think when nobody else was in the gym. Maybe you would have came up with the question, should I be getting paid off the guarantee or the back end? Maybe you just would have just took a chair, one freaking chair that may have been semi-comfortable, and just recline your ass back and look up at the lights and just think about everything. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, you're Dennis Ugas. What do they all have in common? I don't know if I was paid off the freaking guarantee on the back end of the entire purse. I don't even know how much this guy got paid. But Diddy James is looking for $5+ million, and Errol is countersuing and say he want this to be dropped, and for him to pay attorney fees. Oh, you aerosexuals, you low down dirty shame. You low down dirty shame, you aerosexual. I should have known that you was like this. I tried to tell him. He just didn't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to get no black person up in that gym, man. And, he was just going along with the flow. And guess what? You didn't even know when you're supposed to get paid, how you supposed to get paid, and what you were supposed to get paid. Look at you. Look at you, DJ. Look at you, DJ. Man, that was patio carpet in there. No, man, it couldn't have been patio carpet, man. It couldn't have been none of that, man. That was really, moss. you know, when you get bacteria swelling up in there from that heat, they say heat. You know what I'm saying? Heat can create a lot of bacteria now. Real talk. That heat is crazy. It was 175.6 degrees in there, man. That's why they left one heat wave and went over to Vegas. They knew they had to goddamn drop that weight. And they weren't going to get it done in Texas because they weren't sipping on that tea. I don't want to keep bringing up stuff, man. But this is, once again, I'm sending out a freaking PSA to those varmints. Y'all need to get together. Y'all need to huddle, get in a pack. I don't know who's the pack leader. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the pack leader. But y'all need to get together and try to go. A lot of y'all in Texas now. Y'all need to go freaking knock on a window or something. Beg Derrick James to let y'all in so you can get the exclusive. This is the only way y'all going to be able to clean this up. Get the exclusive. Now, this is what I would suggest you to do. I'm going to leave this alone for today. All right? This is what I want you aerosexual to do. I want you to send that white guy up there, that 3%er, because his complexion is going to get him in. You know, tell him to wear a cap and a hoodie, but put on some freaking glasses, some clear frame glasses, and talk like he do when he's around his freaking friends that come over to eat. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to talk like he's trying to be, you know, on here, you know, cussing everybody out and talking about how broke they are. Tell him to put on the glasses when, you know, like he's going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going into work, that job that pays him a lot of money. Now he can get you through the door. Cause this is probably what he sounds. You know, it's all rah-rah on here, but he say, "Hey Derrick, it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah. My name is iPad Pager. Yeah, you probably heard of me. I get all the interviews, make all the money, all the super chats. Yeah. Look at my complexion, smooth cocoa. I'm actually white. I have 3% black. But, you know, can I come in? Thank you. Oh, it feels good. Man, nice place you have here. Buddy, this is everything I imagined, buddy. Is there any way we can sit down and talk? You know, from what I understand, per, you know, the YTC is that you have a lawsuit, you know what I'm saying? And you're suing for compensation funds owed to you. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I represent the aerosexuals, but listen to me. I've been a leader for quite some time, but I had to fall back a little bit because that July 29th beating that y'all took, I couldn't be the leader no more. They was outside my window just singing, you know, and protesting, rejoicing. I couldn't do it no more. But anyway, is there any way you can tell me the exclusive? What are you supposed to get paid? When are you supposed to get paid? What you supposed to get paid? I need the exclusive, sir. Just can you do that for me, buddy? Send that 3%er out there, man. Don't send don't send no blacks up there now. Derrick don't let no blacks in his gym, man. He don't let no family up in there. He said he don't want nobody to get comfortable. Put on your freaking lacrosse shirt, put on some Dockers, and wear your penny loafers like you do when you're going out for brunch. Okay? Get the exclusive, man. That's the only one I can think of. You know what I'm saying? That's sitting up here, you know, I don't know if he's black or white, depending on what day. And also before you go up there, make sure you put some dip in your mouth and drink some of that moonshine. You know what I'm saying? Get your head right, put some dip in your mouth. And you know, you should be able to get in the door and get the exclusive from DJ. Real talk. He should be able to do that, y'all. Seriously. But I have spent almost 2 hours. Facts. We are at a point right now where there is a freaking this is going to be Armageddon at the end of the day. And I'm going to call it. You aerosexuals can't recover, and don't sit up here and try to congratulate Crawford on anything. We don't need your congratulations. Just mind your business and focus on the next guy. If it's Geronins, focus on him, and whoever it is, focus on the next guy. Don't be trying to cross over here saying, hey, you know, everybody makes mistakes in their life. I deserve a second chance. No, you don't. You don't deserve nothing. All right. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. Continue to hold these varmints accountable. They're not speaking on something that they are a big problem in putting out here. False information, biasness, frivolous information, agitprop, all of that. Now that Bud is doing great business, you don't want to compliment him in the same breath as basically criticizing EJ and DJ for doing bad business and not even, having a legal team to put together a package to make sure line for line you get what's owed to you. Appreciate everyone pulling up, man. We should do it again another day, another time. I'm out. Peace.